Today I serve to you a blast from the past with a Chloé Paddington bag. Hi and very welcome! My name is Mary. This is my channel Lumi Level Up and I'm a luxury lover on an average income trying to be more mindful with my money. And today's purchase was quite on the mindful side, if I may say so myself, because we are going to talk about a Chloé Paddington bag that I bought on the flea market quite recently. Well, actually it's not even that recently anymore. It was someone around the beginning of the year. Maybe you spotted the bag sitting on the shelf in the background of my videos, in some videos, some time ago. So that was around the time when I purchased that bag. And this video is just a little story time, how I got it, why I bought it, what I paid, my connection to the Chloé Paddington. There is a little backstory to it. If you are a viewer for a very long time, you might remember my video with 5 handbag regrets. I'm going to link it for you, but I'm not sure how entertaining it is because I was still quite new on that YouTube platform, so watch without any guarantee for entertainment. In that video I mentioned that the Chloé Paddington in black ended up being a regret for me. Not necessarily because of the bag shape or anything regarding that, but rather because I went for a very cheap one, a quite used one that had quite scratched hardware, and then I spray painted the lock myself. It turned out terribly. Then I filed and rubbed down the black paint again. Now the lock is kind of damaged and I'm not really grabbing that bag anymore. That's why it ended up being a regret. I should have just purchased one in better condition instead of saving some euro on the condition and then ending up with a bag that I do not enjoy that much. So that's a learning here. The whole Chloé Paddington story started very early on in my teen years. I'm not entirely sure when that bag popped up for the first time. It became very trendy. I guess someone around the 2010s maybe, or the late 2000s. And all the celebrities had that bag. First, I didn't know about it. I found at the flea market, yet again, a bag in nearly that shade, but exactly that shape, down to the details, except it didn't have the Chloé branding. And I didn't know that there was a Chloé bag named Paddington out there that looked exactly like that cognac beige bag I had until someone asked me, "Oh, you have that Chloé bag?" And I was like, no, and the person noticed then it's not a Chloé bag as well. So that's how I was introduced to that bag shape, and ever since then I knew I wanted to have that bag because I loved the cognac no-name, unbranded one that I had. Maybe we can even call it a knockoff because it really was down to the details. Well, not the details, but the entire shape, the functionality, the design, except the branding was the Paddington bag. I loved it to pieces, so I knew that would be a bag that would be worth my money because I love it. But back then I was still going to university. I didn't earn big bucks. And I didn't have the money to spend. I don't know how much a Paddington was at the store back then. Maybe only around 1,000 euro, maybe 1,500. I really can't tell the prices back in the 2000s, but it definitely was too much for me to handle as a college student. So I didn't buy it for the longest time, but I started saving up and I started looking out pre-loved for one. And there is even one more story to it. Once I found a Chloé Paddington bag in Munich, which is a train ride of about 1.5 hours from where I live, and I wanted to meet up with the person who sold that bag in Munich, and I wanted to go to the Chloé store and ask for some kind of repair to get that bag authenticated, and we already had set up a date and everything, and I nearly booked the tickets for the train. I didn't want to go with my own car back then because I'm scared of parking in big cities. And then last minute the seller cancelled the meeting, and something about it was sketchy. I felt quite safe with it at first because she was willing to meet in front of the Chloé store and said I can take the bag inside, ask for a repair on whatever, and if everything is fine I could buy it. But then she cancelled the meeting and she didn't want to set up another meeting. She wanted to ship the bag to me, and it was very sketchy. And till this day the person still has that bag in her catalog on Vinted. So she never found another buyer for that bag, and she should not have treated me that way. That's just a side note to the whole story. somewhat later I found that bag on Rebel, which is a luxury pre-loved platform here in Germany, and they are very reputable, way more than Vestiaire Collective, if I may say so. So I'm very certain this bag is authentic, but I already told you my little struggles about it. And someone early this year I went to a flea market with my husband and spotted that bag on a rack at a man. I would say he was maybe in his mid-40s. He had an East European accent and I have no idea where he got that bag from. Other than this bag, he had a few items of clothing which were nothing special, nothing branded. He had some other bags, but they were all more on the vintage side, nothing branded designer either. And other than that, he mainly had tools and technical stuff, so a very random selection of stuff. I'm 100% sure he's not the kind of man that wears handbags, so it's definitely not his own. I don't know if it's from his wife. I have no idea where he got that bag from, but I'm 100% certain that he didn't know it is designer, or that it at least is supposed to look like designer, because of course when finding a bag like this at the flea market, at first you don't know if it is authentic. That's as well why I was somewhat hesitant to even ask for the price, because I saw the bag, I saw everything else he was selling, and I didn't have a feeling of that's a authentic Chloe bag at the first moment. So we made our little round at the flea market and I couldn't stop thinking about the bag because I did not even ask for the price when I initially spotted it. And then of course we went back, I asked for the price and he said 10 euro. Well, you probably don't get an authentic Chloe bag for 10 euro. But on the other hand, I already had one authentic Chloe bag sitting at home and they felt very similar to me. From what I remembered about my bag and the way this one looks and feels, and it's very heavy, this one is very heavy. So I thought to myself, well, 10 euro is not that much of a loss if I buy the bag and it turns out not to be authentic. Well, bad luck, I paid 10 euro for nothing. But in case it turns out to be authentic, well, that would be a very great bargain. And since I always haggle at the flea market, which is totally fine, that's normal for flea markets. Most sellers even expect it and say a price a little bit higher than what they actually want, so that there is room for some negotiation. I think I said 7 and we met at 8 euro. So 8 euro is what I paid for this saggy hobo Chloé Paddington bag. And when I got home, of course, I compared both bags down to the details. I filmed some little shots for you that I will insert here so you can be the judge. They are, as already my very first feeling taught me, very similar down to the details. There are a few tiny differences in details, but you have to keep in mind here that this is not the exact same bag. This is the smaller Chloé Paddington and this is a somewhat bigger sized and differently shaped one. So there might be slight differences in the way these bags are made down to the details. The biggest difference is the little label with the code, or let's call it serial number. As far as I know, Chloe doesn't use codes for their bags, so it's rather a serial number. But when I did some research, the little tag on that bag does match the way the tags are on authentic vintage Chloe bags that get sold as well. So I don't feel too bad about that either. Oh, maybe worth mentioning, this bag, it comes with the hook for the lock, but there is no lock anymore and no key anymore. But I think since this bag is so saggy, it's not even missing that much. You can just put it inside and you're fine to go. And somewhere I even have a second lock that I got with this one, but I never liked it with this bag because it was a different kind of lock. Oh, I'm struggling for words today. So yeah, I don't mind that this bag comes without a lock, especially for 8 euro, especially since I would say, 85% confident that this is authentic. Take a look at the detailed shots and let me know what you think. Do you think I scored an authentic Chloé Paddington bag from the 2000s for 8 euro, or do you think I got fooled by a very well made replica? I don't think that this is a bag that I want to get professionally authenticated, because I don't have any need or feeling that I would want to sell it on, and spending the 30+ euro on authentication, I'm not sure if it is worth it to me in this case, when I only paid 8 euro for the bag. It is so similar, even the leather, the graining of the leather, the stamp on the black one that I bought authentic is less well readable than it is on the cognac one from the flea market. So this one even seems somewhat higher quality in some small details, and this one is the one I got trustworthily authenticated. So do with that information whatever you want. I would love to hear your thoughts if you think this is an authentic bag. If I was rambling on like crazy in this video, I'm absolutely sorry. I filmed this very quickly before we go on vacation and I didn't prepare anything. Well, I felt like there is still a little time left so that I could film something. So that's what I did. Hope to see you next time, and bye! I don't know. It felt very chaotic, very rambly, very but sometimes I have a feeling like that, and then when I look at the footage it's not even that bad and no one would have even noticed that I was all over the place. So yeah, we'll see when editing. And maybe I will already edit at the plane when I get bored. Who knows? Bye bye. Oh! And I don't know, probably I will do a travel vlog, even though I'm not entirely sure how interested you might be in my Mauritius trip. And probably you know that I'm not that good at vlogging, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That bag, oh, excuse me, my contact lens. To watch next, even though I have no idea how good that video is, I will recommend you the 5 handbag regrets video that is super old. Or here is something YouTube would recommend you to watch next.